for reminding me to record. I forgot. Okay, so thank you for that person that said I should record. So we'll do the webinar for like 20-25 minutes, then we can take questions. But while I'm doing the webinar, I am going to disable the chat. Now, if you cannot hear me, you need to check your audio, because I think it's working fine. I have a participant who is telling me that it is fine. I can't hear you. If you can't hear, are you using a phone? Are you using a laptop? Have you enabled your audio? Sound is very much fine. Okay, so let's go on so that we don't get distracted by people who can't figure out the chat. I'm so sorry, I can't help with that. So for now, I am going to disable the chat. Okay, so my voice is loud and clear. So give me 1 second to figure myself out here. 1 second. Just give me 1 second, please. Okay, great. So I'm going to share my screen and run through the presentation quickly and then come back and take questions, because I know that that's why some people are here. They just want to ask their questions. Okay. Okay, share screen. I'm going to be sharing my screen. Good, and that is the presentation. Okay, so today our topic is a 2-in-1. Get a Canada degree plus Canada permanent residence in the shortest possible time. And my objective for today, in terms of what I want to share, is that it's something that has changed my life and that of a lot of other people. It's how you can come to Canada to study, get a prestigious Canadian degree or diploma, and how you can become a Canada permanent resident after your studies. So let us tell ourselves some truths. I know that most of us here are from Nigeria. There are, of course, people from other countries, but then similar things are happening in all countries. So there's a failing economy. I'm going to use Nigeria as a case study, but of course, we're talking about a lot of other countries, Brazil, India, China. The economy is failing terribly. And there is a lot of insecurity, especially in Nigeria. There's a lot of insecurity. Our school systems are failing. In Nigeria, the ASU has been on strike for almost 9 months and nothing is being done to help that. Like students are at home for almost 9 months. Someone who should have graduated is still at home, not knowing what to do. So the situation is bad, both in the economy, in the education system, in the healthcare system, security-wise. It's really, the situation is not very good. So because of this, a lot of people are leaving the country. There's a lot of people migrating out of Nigeria, migrating out of Ghana, migrating out of a lot of third world countries, and they are looking for how to get into countries like the United Kingdom. They're looking for how to go into Europe, Australia, and also Canada. Now, because there's a lot of people wanting to migrate, a lot of them don't have knowledge, they don't have proper guidance. They are actually giving a lot of markets to fake immigration consultants and fake agents. These are people who prey on the desperation of people who want to travel. And there are lots of stories. I'm sure all of us have heard one story or the other of someone who gave lots of money to an agent, and then the next time they're calling them, their number is not going through. Because of people's desperation to leave, because of the state of the economy, a lot of these fake agents and scammers are actually having a field day all over the world. Now, a lot of people want to come to Canada. Why? It's obvious. Canada is a great country. It is a great country, and it has a great immigration system, which means it's allowing people to be able to come into Canada, to live temporarily, and also to live permanently. And people are asking all these questions. How do I get into Canada? Is there an accessible way? Do I have a chance? Is there any genuine person that can help? Where can I find genuine help? So a lot of people are asking these questions, not just of Canada, of whatever country they want to get into, but today we're talking about Canada. So people are asking, is there any real person? People always ask me, is this a scam? Is this real? Because of course they don't want to lose their hard-earned money just because they want to relocate. So the answer to all those questions is yes. Yes, you can actually get help. Yes, there are accessible ways to come into Canada, even though you live outside of Canada. Yes, you do have a chance, and you can actually find genuine help. The truth is that you can become a Canada permanent resident using the study route, which is the two-in-one benefit that we talked about at the beginning. You can actually come to Canada, get a degree or a diploma, Canadian degree or a diploma, which is prestigious, so to say, because recognized all over the world. And then in addition to that, you can become a Canada permanent resident, which means that you can live in Canada permanently. You can get all the benefits of a Canadian citizen apart from just one or two. And then of course you can sponsor maybe your spouse, your parents to also become Canadian permanent residents. So why do I say the study route? Now, if you're outside of Canada, you're actually limited by the routes that you can come into Canada. There are just a few. If you're inside Canada, that's a different story. But the study route is one of the ways that you can actually come into Canada from outside of Canada. Now, why am I recommending the study route? Because it is the easiest route with the highest admission rate to Canada. So from undergrad to PhD, if you look at the statistics, this is the easiest route and the one that has the highest number of people translating from studies to permanent residence. You do not need the IELTS, especially if you're from an English-speaking country. So since Nigeria and most of the West African countries are English-speaking countries, generally for most schools, you do not need the IELTS, which I know that a lot of people don't want to write for personal reasons, and there are no age restrictions, which means that as long as you have a reason to study, especially in the graduate level, yeah? So whether you're 18 years old or 40 years old, as long as you have a reason to study, and if you're coming for the graduate level, you already have some kind of like undergrad studies, you have a great chance. Your family can join you in Canada. You don't have to come here alone. Your spouse can get a spousal open work permit, which means that they can work full-time anywhere in Canada, not even in the province where you are, and your children get visas as well. Your children go to school for free up until 18 years of age if you're a student in Canada. It's a sure route to permanent residency. Now, a large number of people who come to Canada to study actually translate into permanent residence, yeah? Because they now have Canadian work experience and they have Canada education. So it is easier for them to convert from students to permanent residents. And the good news is that you can do all of this by yourself, without using, an agent like we talked about, who will probably scam you or probably mislead you by telling you to do something that will just only profit them and not profit you. And this is something that you can start right away. So what is this study in Canada route? It is really simple. It's just like 5 or 6 steps. Number one, you choose a school and a program that you want to study. You make sure you meet the requirements. You apply to the school, which is either maybe a university or a college. You get admission offer, that's your letter of admission, and then you apply for a study visa. You arrive in Canada and get your study permit. You study, of course, you graduate, and then you go ahead to apply for permanent residence when you have met the requirements for that. It is as simple as that. It's just this 5 or 6 steps that you need to follow that will get you to Canada on a study visa, and then you get to become a permanent resident after your study. It's actually that simple, and it looks simple on paper. So the question is, why do so many people struggle with this? Like, there's lots of people who are struggling with getting admission. Lots of people struggle with getting their study visas approved. They have study visas denied 2, 3, 4 times, and they still don't know what to do. And the reason is simple, is because they lack the right formula and the right guidance. And I must say something at this point, that the Canada visa officers are very strict, okay? Because they know that Canada offers permanent residence to students. They know that a lot of people want to come to Canada. And then sadly, for some countries in West Africa, Nigeria included, the level of corruption and the level of fake documents is a lot. So that has made the process harder for those who are coming behind those who did all these things, okay? So you actually need to be very strategic. You can't handle it lackadaisically, like maybe a visa to maybe an European country or the UK. You have to be very strategic, or those visa officers will deny you. They don't have any qualms with that. Okay, so you need the right formula and the right guidance. And when someone keeps getting rejected, both for admission and for visa, it is very clear that they do not have the right formula and the right guidance. And that is where I come in. Now, I have the knowledge of this process because I've actually been through this process, and I've actually helped a lot of people come to Canada, not just for themselves, but with their families. I have a good network, which means I network with immigration consultants here and immigration lawyers, as well as those who have come to Canada, and I learn from people's experience. I have that network. I have the experience, not just from mine, but from that of others. I am in collaboration with a lot of agencies that are really good at what they do, and I have the willingness to provide guidance. And using all of this, with the experience that I've gotten from myself and from others, I put together what is called the Niger to Canada JAPA system. Now, the Niger to Canada JAPA system is a program comprising of videos, PDFs, and guidance that has helped a lot of people to gain admission, not just in Canada, but in the UK, in the US, and then to be able to come to Canada to study and then translate to permanent residence. Now, what is the Niger to Canada JAPA system? It is a comprehensive step-by-step training guide to become a permanent resident using the study route. It provides you simple, easy to use school search tools that will show you how to search for schools, where to search for schools, how to know the schools that will actually give you a post-graduation work permit that you can work after school. It shows you how to search for scholarships and funding, shows you how to access long-term international affordable study loans. We also have sample templates that you can just model. So templates for CVs, for statement of purpose for your visa, statement of purpose for your research studies. We provide step-by-step guidance to visa processing, showing you documents you need to submit, how to actually go onto the IRCC website to put in your application, strategies on how to apply for your family to join you in Canada. We also provide professional services to process your admission and visa application, and access to basic support, guidance, and reviews. Now, the professional services are extra services which are paid for if you have gone through this system and you find out that you need help, okay? That is in a snapshot what the Niger to Canada JAPA system is. It is not a downloadable book, so to say. It is a training guide with 10 modules, and this is a snapshot of what the modules are. It goes from module 1, which is welcoming you to the JAPA system, to getting a letter of admission, all the resources you need, the basics of applying for undergrad studies, the study visa application process, family application resources, post-graduation work permit, which is the work permit that you get after you graduate that can help you to work in Canada for 1 to 3 years before you get your permanent residence. We also have a couple of bonuses for you, strategies on how to contact me, paid professional services, and we answer a lot of frequently asked questions in module 10, okay? So you can actually start at whatever module you want, but it is advisable that you start from module 1 and then move to module 10. So the JAPA system is that it's taking all my experience and my expertise to help you avoid the cost of errors. Now, the cost of errors is in time and in money. So some people spend a lot of time searching on Google, searching on YouTube, confusing themselves, and then they still have the applications denied, which they have spent time and they have spent money. It's all time and money down the drain. I mean, money you can even get back, but that time is all gone. You are older, you understand, by the time you didn't do it that year, you are older, you have more issues. And if you didn't have a job, then you don't have a job for 1 more year. I mean, it's a lot of time gone down the drain. So with the Canada JAPA system, you skip all the bad stuff, all the mistakes, all the errors, and you move to the good stuff more quickly and, most importantly, more affordably. The Nigeria to Canada JAPA system is not the following. So it's not a job fixing program. So it doesn't help you to get jobs. We do not give scholarships. Scholarships are actually given by scholarship organizations and by the schools. We do not arrange accommodation. We do not arrange bank accounts for you. We do not arrange flights or travels. We can actually connect you with your school. They can actually pick you at the airport, but we do not arrange that. So this is a system that shows you step by step how to achieve your dream of relocating to Canada in the most no hassle and the most affordable way possible. So how can I get it? That's what you're asking now. And how much will all this good value cost you? Now, before we talk about that, you also get 2 limited time special bonuses. How to get a job and accommodation in Canada. Lots of people always ask, where am I going to stay when I land? How do I get a job? This bonus tells you how to do both of that. And then we also have another bonus, which is an important checklist that shows you 12 things that you need to start studying in Canada. So all those questions of what do I need? Where do I start? This bonus is going to give you all of that. So the no hassle Nigeria to Canada JAPA system, which is that system with 10 modules to guide you step by step, holding your hands from getting admission onto getting visa, plus the 2 bonuses that I just mentioned earlier, is going for only 40,000 Naira. Now, the value that you're getting is much more than 40,000. It's much more than 500,000 even, because to get an agent to talk to you, an immigration consultant in Canada, it's like $100 for 30 minutes, yeah? So, but you're getting all of these inside the Canada JAPA system. So what are you going to do? I mean, I've told you how you can get Canadian education and how you can translate from that to permanent residence. Now, the permanent residence is the most important step in all of that. You don't just want to come here to study and then return back to your country and start looking for a job. You want to become a permanent resident. Once you are a permanent resident, then you can start going and coming as much as you want. And when you become a citizen, then that is it. You can even stay outside the country for as long as you want. You always remain a Canadian citizen. And of course, your children, your grandchildren, the whole of your family after you become Canadian citizens. So are you going to stay on the same path that you are on, or are you going to go after what you really want? I know a lot of people, yes, they want to come to Canada, they want to go to Europe, they want to study, but they don't do anything about it. And there's a lot of genuine reasons why people are unable to do something. But then if you are here, you need to make a decision, because without a decision, nothing happens. The truth is that a year from now, you may wish you had started today. Personally, I know there are a lot of things that I'm doing now that I wish I had started earlier. A lot of things. It's almost like having regrets. So 1 year will pass anyway, but the thing is that in 1 year time, what will you be doing? And then another question, is there a guarantee? Now, the JAPA system will give you a fighting chance to come to Canada. As long as you are serious, like I've said before, you meet the requirements and you follow the system. But all sales are final, yeah? So when you make that 40,000 Naira purchase, it is final. So that is why I'm going through all these webinars all the time, so that you can make an informed decision, yeah? You can look at the options that you have, you can look at your chances, and if you are serious, then you go ahead and purchase. But if you are not serious, please do not purchase, yeah? Because we only take serious people. Now, does this work? And then in addition to that, we only take 50 people in a month, yeah, because we want to be able to manage the number of people that we can actually assist. So you might get to a point where you might want to purchase and we are like on the 47th person, and by the time it's 50, you would have to wait for the following month. And don't forget that time is a necessary asset when it comes to Canada visa application. So does this work? Of course it works. This is the system that I used to come to Canada to become a permanent resident. And these are my documents. These are my studying documents. This is my study permit on the left. On the middle there, this is my profile at Brock University, which is the school where I did my master's. And on the right there is my, my degree. Yeah, when I graduated, that was my degree. And then, of course, I work for a lot of people. These are just samples of some people who have gotten admission to come to Canada with their families, gotten their visa approved, and they're in Canada. If you go to our Sales page, there's lots of video testimonials and also other testimonials as well. So usually there's only one thing that makes a dream impossible to achieve. It's fear. Fear is a terrible thing because it holds us down, doesn't let us move forward. We keep trying to analyze and analyze and analyze, and time goes. So if you can overcome your fear and take a chance, 40,000 is not a lot of money. Yes, I know it's a lot of money to some people, but it's not a lot of money for you to take a chance and start to learn what you need to come to Canada. Coming to Canada and becoming a permanent resident is a big deal. Trust me, it is a big deal. So you need to actually overcome your fear of failure and begin to take a leap of faith. Remember, you cannot climb the ladder of success with your hands in your pocket. Even an ordinary ladder, that is not a ladder of success. If you want to climb a ladder and you want to move higher from the point where you are, you actually need to take your hands out of your pocket, do the work, and start climbing, okay? So this is an extremely limited offer. Yeah, the Niger to Canada JAPA system didn't start at 40,000. It started at 25,000. And when the value continued to increase, and of course the dollar value, the exchange rate continued to increase, we increased it. So this is an extremely limited offer. We do not know what the price will be tomorrow. And it's true, a price increase is looming. I don't know how much, but it is actually going to come. And the truth is that if nothing changes, nothing changes. If you don't do something to change your situation, and it doesn't have to do with coming to Canada, anything, your career, your family, your relationships, your health. If you don't do something to change it, nothing will change. You might put your head in the sand and say that you will look at your situation, but just because you are not looking doesn't mean that your situation will change. So like I said, your children, your grandchildren, your great-grandchildren after you are going to be Canadian citizens. You can imagine how your great-grandchildren will just be praying for you, thanking you that, grandma, thank you for moving to Canada at the time that you did. I mean, if not for you, I won't be a Canadian citizen. I mean, just have that picture in your mind of your children and your grandchildren actually pray for you and thank you. It's an amazing feeling. So like we said before, the Niger to Canada JAPA system with all the bonuses, the step-by-step guide, the almost peace of mind that it gives to you that you're having guidance from someone who actually knows what they are doing is only 40,000 naira. So how much do you really want it? I mean, something is impossible until you decide to break through, yeah? I don't know if some of you have heard my story, but when I was trying to come as well, it seemed impossible. I'm telling you, lost a lot of time, lost a lot of money, cried a lot of tears, had a lot of frustration, breakdowns. It looked impossible. But then I had made up my mind that, I mean, this thing either kills me or I kill it. Do you understand? And because I had made up my mind like that, I fought. And because I fought, I broke through and I was able to come to Canada today. So don't miss out on this opportunity. Getting the Niger to Canada JAPA system will save you from feeling helpless, wasting time, wasting money, trying to relocate to Canada where there seems to be very little hope. Now, this is also an affiliate product, yeah? So if you were invited by someone to the webinar, you need to go back to them and ask them to send you the link of how you can use to get your own JAPA system, okay? So somebody invited you to a webinar, that person is an affiliate, that person has our link that they will send to you that you would use to make your purchase. Do not waste time. Number one, Canada policies change all the time. I'm telling you, it's crazy. It changes all the time. You need to start now. A lot of schools have started, we start taking people for September of 2023, yeah. For the fall term, people are also coming in for January and for May. A lot of people are coming in. A couple of days ago, we welcomed like 15 people, and every day we welcome people into Canada. So people are actually getting their visas and they're actually coming. So it's not something that is far-fetched, okay? So by the time you make your purchase, you will have all my contact details inside the JAPA system and you can reach out to me after your purchase. Now, thank you very much for listening. And I'm going to stop sharing my screen. I'm going to come back and start answering questions. Now, I know that I'm going to have people asking me how much does study in Canada cost? So that's why I put this in. So you have to make application fees, pay application fees to all the schools that you apply to get admission. The fees range from $95 to $150, depending on the school, okay? Tuition, if you do not have funding, starts from about $12,000. And all these things I'm talking about is from undergrad to PhD. Starts from about $12,000 to about $40,000 per year, depending on your program. The $40,000 is the high-end programs, some of the MBAs in the high-end schools, okay? Living expenses is 10,000 Canadian dollars. Everything I'm saying here is Canadian dollars per year for the prospective students. I think that the bank rate for Canadian dollars is about 3.45 or so. I don't know, about 3 something. Living expenses for yourself is 10,000 Canadian dollars. For if you're coming with your family members, it's 4,000. And all these things I'm saying is your proof of funds. So you have to show a tuition, living expenses for yourself and your family members. If you have funding and it covers your tuition, you do not have to show proof of funds for any part that your scholarship or funding covers. Visa application fees is $150 plus $85 for biometrics. You need to do medicals, which is approximately 50,000 Naira. And then, of course, your airfare and your miscellaneous. So that's just a snapshot of what it will cost you without funding or without scholarship. So I'm going to go ahead now and take the questions. Okay, I'm going to come back now and take questions. Okay, so lower our hand. So if that was really, if you like gained a lot from that, please raise your hand so that I will know that that was really, you gained a lot. So what we're going to do now, I'm going to open the chat in bits, okay, so that you can send in your questions. Please do not send in questions that I've already talked about. When I was making the presentation, that means you'll be derailing everybody. After taking some questions, then I'm going to come to the to you, and you can ask your questions by raising your hands and then speaking out. But for now, let's take questions in the chat. I'll open the chat for about 3-4 minutes. Put in your questions. I'll close the chat and answer the questions. Okay, that's how we're going to do it. So you can type your questions now. And then we'll also be asking. So while we're waiting for that, I will ask some people. You can raise your hand if you want to ask a question. Wow. So Techno Puver 3 or something. You can ask your questions. While I'm waiting for you to chat, I will be taking questions. So Techno Puver 3, ask your question, please. Unmute yourself and ask. Techno, okay, forget. Who is this now? Cynthia's Galaxy S9 Plus. You can unmute yourself and ask. You need to unmute yourself and ask your question. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to go to the chat and take the questions there since this doesn't seem to be working. Okay, so I can see some questions I'm just going to address. Somebody's saying, can ND apply? Yes, now ND can apply. So whatever degree you have, whether it's ND, NCE, what is that again? HND, Masters, PhD, you can apply. Definitely, you can apply. Do you have a list of universities one can apply to, or should we select randomly? So there are so many universities in Canada, yeah? And there's a DLI list, which is on the Government of Canada website. It's also in the JAPA system. Now, that DLI list shows you schools that are actually designated learning institutes. Those are the only ones you should apply to, schools that are DLI and that actually are eligible for the post-graduation work permits, okay? So I can't give you all of the schools because they each offer different programs. So you need to actually do a search by yourself. Can I get a full presentation? If you missed it, you missed it now. Let's see how I can go up here. Can a graduate of Polytechnic with HND go for masters in Canada? So if you have a HND, you would have to go for a for graduate certificate. Most of the schools do not recognize a HND. Do you know a HND is just 2 years? and they want a 4-year degree program. So what's the advantage of studying in Canada over studying in the UK? And I did a tweet post on that recently. They are both great countries. The UK is a great country to study. I studied in the UK, so I know it's a great country. So the only advantage of studying in Canada is that Canada is the easiest place to get permanent residence. Okay, I schooled in the UK and still came here to get permanent residence. So that's the advantage. How do we know universities that are DLI? There's a DLI list where you can check. Which college in Canada gives sponsorship for international students? All of them. Good evening. What if you have a visiting visa and you enter Canada? Can you change? No, you cannot change your visit visa. Yeah. So when you come to the airport, the immigration officer stamp your passport and tell you that you have to leave Canada within 6 months. Okay. You are not aware that you can convert. During COVID, it was different. You could convert because we were stuck here, but now people are not stuck, so you need to go back. If I finish my bachelor's degree while in Canada, must I apply for a new study permit to do master's? So if you finish your bachelor's and you want to do a master's, you will extend your study permits. So 3 months personal statement of account, 6 months business. So you need 6 months, 4 to 6 months bank statement for you to apply. 2.9 grade, you have to, I don't know if a 2.9 grade will do a master's and MSc, so it depends on the requirements. How do you get waiver for IELTS? The schools will always say it on their program website, whether they are waiving IELTS for English speaking country. Can I choose a certificate course to come over even though I have a diploma already? I don't understand what that means. What do you mean by certificates? Can I apply for an agent to help me? Of course you can, you can apply, you don't have to ask that question. Yes, an agent can help you. If my son is going through the study route, does it qualify for the family to move along with him? No, it does not qualify because your son is a minor. Do you understand? He doesn't have a wife and children. The only people that can accompany him is his wife and his children. So if you are not his wife and his child and you are his parent, you can only visit. You cannot be a dependent on your son. Do we need an express entry profile to register and be eligible? So we're talking about study here, not express entry. With the aid of your professional help, can you assist an individual in proof of fund? No, we do not do proof of fund. I already said that during the presentation. Is this applicable to divorcee with no kids? I don't see how divorcee or no, it doesn't matter whether you're divorcee, you can study. Study gap of 8 years does not affect visa approval. I had a study gap of more than 8 years, okay, before I applied. How do I go start up after the 40K payment? With the assistant till I get to Canada or just a month? So you have lifetime access to the Canada JAPA system. I want to relocate to Canada with my wife, few months old kid. Can she study and work while I work full time? So if your wife comes with you and your child, your wife can study and work part-time. You as her spouse, you can work full time. How much do we have to prepare for everything? I don't know. It depends on your tuition. And I did give a table that shows how much you need. So go and look at it. Can one also get study fund UK as it is? I don't know. I don't know about UK. Yeah. What is the cost for me to get visa for study in Canada? Can I find a scholarship or funding? Yes, you can find scholarship and funding if you qualify for it. Can you pair 2 people to get one JAPA system? No, JAPA system is 1 per person. And if we discover that you're sharing your JAPA password with someone else, we're going to block you permanently. And it doesn't matter how much you beg, we're not going to give you access back. So please be aware. Do we pay the tuition fee once or in installment? Tuition fee is paid per term. So I guess that's an installment then. What is the maximum number of children that can be your dependent? Oh boy, it doesn't matter. There's no maximum number of children. As many children as you have can be your dependents. So if you have 7 children, it doesn't matter. The 7 children can be your dependents. If someone applies for PhD now, when is the tentative time to land in Canada if everything goes well? So you can land in Canada 1 month to your study, okay? So if you're coming to study in October, you can come in September. I think 1 month is the most. You cannot come in January for a study in September. Trust me, they will turn you back at the airport. Do you advise one goes alone without consultation? I don't understand what that means. What do you mean by consultation? 2-2 with is it possible to get admission for a graduate study with funding? With 2-2, So you need to, like, funding is for research programs, yeah. Scholarships is for all programs. So you will not be getting a funding with your tutu. How long does the proof of fund last? How many months? You need to have proof of funds for 4 to 6 months before you apply. Someone who is 50 years with HND, can they go to study? Yes. My friend was given admission to study in Canada, but I've been informed that the application might not be processed. Okay, there's no question there. Is there age limit to getting admission in Canada? No, yeah. So, but the thing is, if you, let's say you're 50 years old and you only have SSC and you want to come to Canada to do an undergraduate study, it's not convincing because you're 50. What have you been doing all these years? Do you understand? And then you now want to do undergrad and you want to come to Canada. A visa officer will not believe that you're a genuine student. Yeah. But if you are at an age that can do undergrad, or you are 50 and you want to do a postgrad because you want to improve your career, things are changing in the world, then there's no age limit for that. Okay. There's only age limit if you want to do an undergrad, you've never gone to school before, and you are more than 40 or something like that. It's not, nobody will believe that, okay? It's just common sense. Does the 40,000 naira include application fee? No, the 40,000 naira is just for the JAPA system. I showed a table, you will pay your application fee to the school. Can I move from Dubai? You can move from anywhere in the world. How can I go with my child? By applying for them when you do your own application. Can you assist after buying the course to secure admission? That's what the course is for. The course is your assistant or your guide. What is your contact? It's inside the JAPA system. How to reapply for my study refusal based on family ties? I do not understand that question. Can a businessman apply? If the businessman wants to come and study now, maybe an MBA or a business program, yes, he can apply. I don't have money sitting in my account. How do I show proof of funds? You have to put money in your account then and allow it to sit. How long does it take to process a visa? So it depends. The processing time changes. Currently, it's 18 weeks for Canada study because, of course, they have a lot of backlog. People are trying to come in for January and September, but the time varies, okay? It goes from 8 weeks when they don't have a lot to 18 weeks, which it is now. How long does visa processing? Okay. What is the difference in diploma and university degree? Is the difference between a BSc and a national diploma. How does one get enrolled on the JAPA system in Ghana? Is by purchasing it now. It's the same way. You just make your purchase and you get your JAPA system. How many years is for postgraduate HND holder? Maybe you're asking how many years is a graduate certificate. So there are 1-year graduate certificates and there are 2-year graduate certificates. Now, if you do a 1-year program, you get a 1-year post-graduation work permit, which means that you get 1-year work permit. Now, within that 1 year, you should try and apply for permanent residence, okay? Try and qualify for permanent residence. Now, there are 2-year programs. For 2-year programs or any program above 18 months, you get a 3-year post-graduation work permit. So you have lots of time. You have 3 years to settle down, apply for permanent residence, get work experience. So that's why the 2-year programs are usually better than the 1-year programs. You have not discussed today's topic. Oh God, what is today's topic? When will the portal for admission for September 2023 start? Since most of the applications for September will start in October. So by October, a lot of schools will start opening their portal up for September of 2023. Can this JAPA manual be used to secure a school in UK? Now, the JAPA system is for Canada, but yes, people have used it to go to the UK. So I mean, that's it. So it's not actually made for the UK, but I guess the ideas there can be used to apply to the UK too. I am a PhD holder and I would like to get a postdoctoral fellowship. How possible? So the JAPA system is not for postdoctoral fellowship because a postdoctoral fellowship is not a study. It's actually like a job, okay? So you have to actually look for those positions in the school. Can one get admission without IELTS? Yes, if you are from an English-speaking country like Nigeria. How can a 2-2 mechanical engineering graduate get funding? By qualifying for it. How can I secure scholarship? Any hope of PhD in law, my husband PhD in public health. You can secure scholarship the normal way by qualifying for it. You go to the school, you look at their scholarship requirements, and if you qualify, you apply. Can student study loan serve as proof of funds and living expenses? Yes, student study loan can serve as proof of funds for the student, yes. Can we get a discount? The 40,000 naira is already a discount. How do we contact the school for admission? That information is inside the JAPA system. What about documentation to prove funds? That information is inside the JAPA system. What medical conditions can deny some of a visa? Now, when it comes to medical, it is hard to say because those doctors seal their lips, so they don't tell you anything. You just go there and they take your blood, do x-ray, check your eyes and all that. But the thing is, if you have any medical condition that will cost a lot of money to maintain, yeah, then it might affect your visa, but normal things will not affect visa, okay? But if you have a serious medical condition, maybe you have cancer or something like that, it may affect, okay? But I'm not definite, but it may. How many days of being in Canada can one apply for permanent? So it's not about being in Canada, it's about qualifying for permanent residence, okay? It's about qualifying. There's no discount though. How long do we have access to you after the 40K payment? You have access as long as you like, but of course, you know that this is a DIY, it's a do-it-yourself, so you have access when you probably want us to just look at your SOP or you want to ask some questions, then you do get access. How do I get my own package in Dubai? So it's an online product, so it's delivered electronically, so it doesn't matter where you are in the world, you will get this. What is the duration for schools to decide on application? So it depends on the school. Now, if it's like university master's program or PhD that have an open and a closing time, decisions will be made after the closing time, yeah? It's made after the closing time. Did I touch something? I'm so sorry. I think I touched something. 1 second. Oh my God, how did I get here now? Sorry. Okay, I think I touched something. Just give me 1 minute to sort this out. How do I get out of here now? Can you still see me? No. Somebody did this. Okay, so can someone over 40 years apply? Yes, now I've said this before. So I'm going to open it up again. I think I've answered all the questions and you can ask your questions again. You can type in the chat. Applications for May next year are still on, yeah. Applications for January are still on, but I would not advise you to apply for January anymore because it takes 18 weeks for visa application and it's possible you might not get your visa on time. So just apply for May and for September. That will be the best because of the visa. Oh God, this sun is disturbing me. It's getting into my eyes. So I'm just going to give a few minutes for the questions. Okay, so I'm just going to close it again so that I can why don't you? Okay, let me close it. Okay, certain question. Someone is asking which of the provinces is education friendly. All the provinces are education friendly now. There's no province that is education hostile. They are all friendly. Let's see. As a student, can I come with my spouse? Definitely. Can you get undergraduate scholarship? Yes. What program should someone with a third class honors apply for? So of course, the program you're applying for is whatever is in line with your background. You can do an advanced diploma with a third class and with a pass. You can also do a graduate certificate. So there are some schools that will still take third class for graduate certificates, but the easiest probably will be to do an advanced diploma, okay? Because it's very competitive. Can I get a driver's license as an international student? Yes, now. Even visitors can drive, talk less of you. Can someone ACA, I can apply? ICANN and ACCA is not a degree, okay? So you need a degree to apply. How can one know the graduate courses that have post-work permits? It's from the DLI list. You need to check in the DLI. I was considering using your platform for my application or using a ProConnect Pay platform that helps with student loan. Is there a guide to get student loans in the package? So student loan is a completely different thing. The ProConnect, I think it's in Nigeria or something. So we have international student bodies, and then with whoever can give you a loan, then go for it. What's the best program I can go for with a 2-2? That's such a vague question. But I guess graduate certificates can end. Who is asking now? Was the session recorded? Yes. Hopefully, I think so. The session is being recorded. If it's not being recorded, well, I do. Oh my God. I'm a Nigerian, but based in Dubai. Can I apply from Dubai? Yes, you can apply from Dubai without going back to Nigeria, so long as you're in Dubai legally, okay? Can I apply? Can I apply for my sibling with third class? So I just talked about third class now. Can one secure funding for postgraduate certificates, either through scholarship or loan agent over there? So postgraduate certificate, yes, if you do meet the scholarship requirements, you can get scholarship. Loan doesn't have anything to do with whatever. So loan depends on what the loan organization is asking for. Can someone over 40 with study gap of more than 15 years get admission? Study gap of 15 years from what? Do you have a bachelor's? Do you have a diploma? Whatever. So I can't answer that question because I don't know what your study gap is. The SSCE. Can you apply for undergraduate at age 30? It's a stretch, but yeah, you can. Percentage rate of success in getting scholarship, I don't know. Best and safe province, they are all safe. Can you apply with pregnancy? Yes, you can. The only thing is that you're going to have to do an x-ray. And if you're okay with doing x-ray with your pregnancy, yes, you can apply. Can someone with 2-2, I've already answered this one, get fully funded scholarship PhD? If you have a 2-2, how are you going to do PhD? You need a master's now to do PhD. Do you have a master's in law? Just 1 second. Emma, put this curtain down, please. On this side. So sorry, the sun is bothering me. I want, if age in transcript differs from age in your passport, will the application be denied? Can an affidavit back up your age in passports? So if you have different ages, you have to clarify that. I think you have to do an affidavit to say the age on my passport is the correct one, the age on my transcript is wrong, and they are declaring that the age on your passport is correct. So an affidavit can help. So if you apply for May 2023, when is the best time to have one's money? Proof of funds. So you have proof of funds 4 to 6 months. Oh my goodness. Okay, before you apply, that's better. 4 to 6 months before you apply for visa. You need that money in your account 4 to 6 months. Do not make any bulk deposits. It has to be consistent. Can't go into that now. How do I get the package? So like I said before, you were invited by someone here, evident. Someone gave you the link to the webinar. Go back to them and ask them, how do you get the package? They will give you the link. I intend to pursue a PhD in an affordable university in Canada. I want to live with my family. What are my chances of getting at least a partial scholarship? So your chances for getting funding for a PhD are very high. Are jobs for security expert? I don't know. Does it mean you can travel at the same time with your spouse and child? Definitely, you can. Can I apply with just my O-level since I haven't cleared my OND result? I don't know. I mean, you haven't cleared your OND result means what? Why can't you clear your OND results? Why? Good day. I studied electrical and electronics in bachelor. I have 9 years working experience in oil and gas. Can I do my master's in electrical? So doing your master's is more about what you studied. Do you have a 2-1? What is your GPA? If you do have meet the requirements for masters, you can study. So asking me whether you can study for anything that you meet the requirements for, okay? So if you meet the requirements for a PhD, you can study a PhD. So you need to meet the requirements. Don't forget, admission to Canada now is it's breakneck competitive. I'm telling you, it's very competitive. They want to take 50 people, they get 1,000 applications. Do you understand? They have to weed it down. It's very competitive. Yeah, so that's why you need to spread your risk when you're applying. How much proof of funds a family of 6 needs? Go and look at the presentation and look at the last slide and do your calculation. Can HND access a loan? Yes. Can someone with medical lab tech apply for direct entry? I don't know what direct entry is. Will certificate program permit me to get a visa? I don't know. Yes, I think, I don't know what you mean by certificate. Is it graduate certificates? I don't know what you mean. How can I bring my husband and children in during my study so that my husband can be of help? It's by them applying now. So once you are in Canada, you can, your wife, your husband and your children can apply as long as, you know, they have enough money to cover, because don't forget, you're going to have to rent an apartment. They are going to feed. Before your husband gets a job, you people have to be feeding, of course. So as long as you have the proof of funds to cover them, you have the necessary home ties, economic ties, family ties to show that you will go back to your country if you need to, then you can apply. The session is recorded. The number of dependents, yes, will determine the amount of proof of funds, yes. Okay. I want to ask if it's possible to go to Canada with 4 kids. Yes, it is. I have a friend who came here with her 5 children. With her 5 children, she came, they gave all of them visa. So yes, it is possible. How much do one need to have in his account? Go and look at the last slide in the presentation. I didn't say a 1-year program is not good, okay? So don't quote me wrongly. A 1-year program is good. There are so many people here on 1-year programs. There are a lot of them a lot of them already have their permanent residence, okay? And they came here and they did 1-year programs. Only thing I say that the 2-year program is better. Doesn't mean that a 1-year program is bad, because a 2-year program gives you a 3-year work permit. A 1-year program gives you a 1-year work permit, but a visa officer that is nice can still give you a 2-year work permit, even though you did a 1-year. But then a lot of them might not be that nice. Okay. It is at their discretion on what they want to give you. OND, you can apply lower credit, higher credit, whatever. 2 degree plus a strong SOP. You are most likely not going to be able to do a master's with a 2.2, and it's not just a matter of 2.2. What is your GPA? Okay. Yes, because a lot of masters, they take 3 out of 4. You understand? 3 out of 4 is like 3.7 or so for a Nigerian degree. Some take a B, which is like maybe 3.5. So, but they would most likely not take a 2.2 for masters. I have bagged MA in English. I would love to go for my PhD. Yes, you can go for PhD if you have an MA. Does the JAPA system involve study visa reapply, and it's 3 months? I answered that question. I said you need a 4 to 6 month bank statement. So 3 months doesn't cut it. And of course, it can help you reapply if you have applied before. We can show you what to do if you've been denied visa before. I have a good job in Nigeria, but for family, I need to move my family into Canada. Can I do a master program? I have an MBA and something. So if you meet the requirements for a master's program, you can do it. What's the link for getting the JAPA system? How do we pay? So you pay. Whoever invited you to the webinar will send you a link to pay. I'm sure after the webinar, if you go back to them, they will give you the link to pay. So immediately you click on the link, you'll be paying on either Paystack or Seller. These two are very good payment platforms in Nigeria. So those are the platforms. You're not paying to somebody's personal account. You're paying on Paystack or Seller, okay? The full meaning of JAPA system. Somebody asked that question. JAPA is to Japana. JAPA is to relocate. That's what JAPA is. How JAPA means to leave somewhere and go to another place. Is it compulsory to pay tuition before applying? Okay, so it is not compulsory, but some schools make it compulsory. So there are some colleges that will say, pay this amount of money, you understand, to hold your seat. If they do that, you have to pay, because if you apply for visa, your visa officer will read the letter and will see that they said you should pay, and they will check if you have, put in your deposit. If you have not, they are likely to refuse that. That means you did not meet the requirements for that letter of admission. Okay, so if the school doesn't say you should pay, you don't have to. It doesn't make your visa, no matter what people say. You understand? They will still consider everything, not just because you paid deposit. They won't look at other parts of the requirements for the visa. So if the school says pay, go ahead and pay. If the school doesn't say, you don't have to, except you want to. Can someone's spouse come? I've answered that yes. Which provinces can you get cheaper tuition? So I don't know what you mean by cheaper, yeah, but if you look at provinces other than Ontario and BC, you might get cheaper tuition. Does a biology degree offer a good job? I don't know about job opportunities. We're talking about study. Is there a possibility for someone who studied accounting to get any funding? So they studied accountancy. On what level? Do you understand? What do they want to do? Those are all the things that will determine whether you're getting funding or not. If I have a bachelor's, is it compulsory I apply for master's? You don't have to apply for master's. You can apply for a graduate certificate, okay? I know someone who came to Canada recently. He had a first class for bachelor's, first class. I think he went to University of Ibadan or something. And he's here doing a graduate certificate. He got his visa. So you can still apply for graduate certificate as well. Does a working single female of 32 years who has funds necessarily needs to sponsor? So if you have the funds to sponsor yourself, you don't need a sponsor, yeah? So even if you're single and you have funds you've saved over the years, you have your funds, it's even better. You do not need any sponsor. Please sponsor yourself. So we're going to record it and send it to you. The maximum time for applying for visa, I don't know what that means. Can somebody over 50 have a bachelor's degree in engineering but would like to go for undergrad? Please don't go for undergrad again now. You have a bachelor's and you're 50. Don't mind those agents. Don't, please go for a graduate program. You have better chances. Okay. I have a sister who hasn't finished school here in Nigeria because of the strike. Yes, she can apply. She hasn't finished school. What level is she? I tell people if you're in 300 level or 400, you can wait. Do you understand? Because a lot of schools here might not be able to transfer your credits, but some schools might. It might be difficult to transfer credits. They have to match what you have studied before, like your courses, with the courses that they have in their own programs. So if you have studied for 3 years and they cannot match your courses, then it will be difficult. That means you're actually losing a lot of time. You are starting from the beginning. If you have 2-2 with masters, you can if I have 2-2 with masters, how can I get another master's? So that's a very, So it depends on the masters that you want to do. Yeah. So there are some masters that will actually take a 2-2 with a master's, but usually not for the science, the computer, the technology. Those ones want a 2-1. Share the page of the fund. I'm not sharing any page here. We are talking. We are not sharing pages. Getting a master's funding, must you have journal and research? No, you mustn't have a journal. Like I got funding. I have never written any paper before. I don't have any. The only thing I gave to them was my projects. You know, the project we do in school, that research project. That was my writing sample. I've never written any paper, so you don't have to. It's only when you're probably going for a PhD, the professor might want to see what you've written, because PhD people, they write papers. Does the school have accommodation for their student? No, you are the one that will sort yourself out. If you're actually an undergraduate, the school can arrange accommodation if you're in year 1 or year 2, but a lot of people want to stay outside of campus. I mean, you don't want to be living in those rooms. Is IELTS compulsory? No, not for everything, not if you're an English-speaking country, and not for all schools. Are there agriculture courses in Canada? Yes, now. There are a lot of farmers here. Canada is a farming country, so yes, there are applications. So I think, how long does it take for admission to be out? I think you should send your school an email and ask them that. Even if you want to go for fall of 2023, yes, you can get the JAPA system. Can a company or friend provide proof of fund? So if a friend is providing proof of fund, you have to convince the visa officer. Nobody will believe that your friend though, it's not your cousin, it's not your mother's sister's child, wants to give you money to fund your own studies. What about them? They don't want to come to Canada. You understand? So it's hard to prove it when it's a friend. Easier when it's a family member. You can apply for undergraduates with scholarship. How strict is embassy visa approval? Very strict. Your PR lasts for 5 years. So PR has an expiry date. It's for 5 years. You can renew your PR, but then why renew it? You can also apply for citizenship after 3 years of being a Canadian permanent resident. So if you answer this question, can someone get a visa for a job without going through school? Yes, if you can get a job offer, you can get a visa. If you are capturing passport next month, you can get the JAPA system. So the JAPA system, you can get it at any time. You can get it in preparation, or even when you don't have your international passport, while you're processing your transcript, you can get the JAPA system. So if you want to do the NSC, I understand the NSC is not even working that well anymore, but if you want to do the NSC, which is the expedited visa processing, then you need the IELTS, okay? Well, you don't need IELTS necessarily for admission. What can make a scholarship not to be processed if you don't meet the requirements? How long can it take to apply for visa after admission? So it is best to apply for visa as soon as possible after you get admission. So yeah, as you have applied for admission, you are prepping for visa. You're not waiting for your admission to come out before you now start prepping. Immediately you put in your admission for visa, your admission for school, you start prepping for visa, you start getting your documents ready, you start getting your proof of funds, start putting your papers together, so that as soon as you get admission, you're applying for visa. So you're not waiting, you understand, you're prepping. This is a project, take it as one and start putting your documents down, you understand? I'm a registered nurse, can I do nursing top up to get a degree? Yes, you can. Not some other nuances there, but yes. What makes one qualify for PR after studying in Canada? That is an other decision. So there are different PR routes for students and there are different requirements. I cannot go into that now. What's the cost of doing nursing? I'm not talking about cost here because I don't know. But we have generalized cost, which is the last slide of the presentation. Now for your school, it depends on your school. Do you understand? I can't say what the price is, depends on your school. Minimum amount of money that should be in my account as proof of funds. Go and look at the last slide. That's why I put that slide last, because I know that everybody will ask you proof of funds. Go and look at the replay and look at that last slide for the funds that you need. I'm not going to talk about proof of funds because it's already explained on that slide. Are you saying that after your study, it's not guaranteed that you get permanent residence? Okay, so after your study, that's a great question. Now, after your study, it is not guaranteed that you get permanent residence. You have to apply for permanent residence. You have to qualify for it. So it's not as if after study, I just sit down, then after 1 year, I become a permanent resident. No, you have to get a job. You have to get the Canadian work experience. You have to apply for, you have to look at different options. There are different options for permanent residence. You have to follow one or two, try and meet the requirements for those ones, and then apply. It's not automatic. You have to still apply. Do you understand? There are people who foolishly might not get permanent residence because they just sat down there taking their time. Do you understand? This is a race against time. You are doing it. That's why I'm here. And that's why JAPA system, it is not automatic. You have to actually apply for permanent residence. If not, you'll be telling another story that touches the heart. Okay, so can hepatitis B patients apply and get this? Like I said before, I do not know. Yeah, so there are different levels of hepatitis B. I don't know if they are dangerous. It depends on the doctor. If there's something wrong with your medical, the doctor will tell you, and they will tell you what to do. They can treat you, they can give you drugs, and then you can do the medical again. Yeah, so that's, I really don't know. But you know, if it's a serious issue that will cost the Ghanaian government a lot of money, it might affect your visa. But I don't know whether hepatitis B is one of them. The duration for colleges to decide for May application. So each school has their duration of deciding on application. Some 6 weeks, some 4 weeks. I guess it's from 6 weeks and above. So Canada accepts NECO, but not, I don't know what NAP. Okay, let me say, I'm not aware of the NAPTEB, but I know they accept NECO and WAEC. Express entry, this is for study, so we're not talking about express entry here. So we're not talking about work permits. How easy is it to move to Canada with your spouse and 4 kids? It's as easy as the amount of money you have in your bank account. You can get the JAPA system from Uganda. I'm not going to answer questions that I've answered before. 27 years old, you can get undergrad admission, I guess, yeah. How do you qualify for post-graduation work permit? So you meet all the requirements of your study visa, you apply, you study full-time for the duration, you do not work more than 20 hours a week, you do not break the law, and then you also go to school in a school that is eligible for post-graduation work permits. It is possible to study with third class. I've answered that. So you use the DLI list to know the programs that are eligible for post-graduation work permit. I've said that. I cannot share a link to the JAPA platform. Just go to the person who invited you and they will be able to give you a link where you can purchase to also have access. A whole family can move at once. I've answered that. Thesis program gets funding if the program is a funding program. Okay, so it's not like in Canada, there are different provinces. They do what they like. Everybody is independent. All schools are independent as well. So what one school does doesn't determine what another school does. That's the way it is here. So I can't say in general that all thesis programs get funding. All thesis programs should get funding, but I don't want to say it like that. Okay, so you have to actually go to the school and see. So you will pay for tuition, of course. The schools in Canada, oh God. I don't have an office in Lagos. I think I've answered all these questions. Yeah, I'm going to open it again. What's the chance of getting a family visa, choose school route? So we're talking about study visa. When people call it family visa, I'm a little uncomfortable. It's not a family visa, it's a study visa. Now you can add your family as dependent to your study visa. So it's not a family visa, it's a study visa. And then whether you're doing a 1-year post-graduation work permit, a 1-year graduate program, you can also add your family. I'm 35 years old, I'm a dropout. Can I still apply for undergraduate with my age? I think you should just go and do a diploma first in Nigeria or whatever country you are and then apply, okay? Application for May is still on. So my son had diploma in basic education, 2-year bachelor's degree. He has a coursework master's degree in mathematics. Does he qualify to study for PhD? Have you looked at any PhD program? PhD, we usually ask for a master's. So if he meets the requirements and his master's, he has good grades in his master's, yes, he can apply. So I'm going to open it up again. I think I've answered. Yeah, I have answered all of this. What's the time? It's past 3, so we've been here for about 1 hour. Yeah. Okay, so it's open again. You can ask your questions. I'm going to lower everybody's hand. So while we're waiting for that, someone can just ask a question. So if you want to ask a question while we're waiting for them, Olayemi Adewoye, would you like to unmute yourself and ask while we wait for people to type? Olayemi, just unmute yourself. Where is that, Olayemi? Where did you go? Okay. So when I tell you to unmute, you just unmute yourself. DP Solutions, you can unmute yourself. Amazing. And ask your questions while we're waiting for them to type.
Hello, a very good evening to you, Shay. Thank you so
evening.
much for the amazing tutor and the tutorial. So this is it. You've actually answered this question, but I'm not so clear. So I was told that with Tutu, you can't move with your family. Sorry, with Tutu, you can't study masters directly, that you have to do a certificate diploma, and that you cannot move directly with your family. But with 2-1, you can do masters directly and move with your family directly. So I was told that with 2-2, you can only move when you get there, maybe after some months, you can then move your family. So that was what I was trying to ask, but I couldn't ask until before you disable the chat. So how true is this?
Okay, so you've said 2 things. You said you can't move with your family, then you said you can move with your family after a few months. Which is it?
Yes.
Which is it?
Now, what I'm saying is that they said 2-2, that you cannot move with your family.
You cannot move with your family at all.
At once, down till you get to that stage. Like, okay, like maybe
okay. Wait, let me say. So you're saying that they said with 2-2, you need to be in Canada before your family can join you. But with 2-1, yes, you can apply at the same time with your family, right?
Yes, exactly.
Okay, I'll answer your question. So I'll just mute you. So that's not true. Moving with your family has nothing to do with 2-2 and 2-1. I'm really surprised when I hear things like, I wonder the people who say these things. But that's how people just say things and people get scared. So moving with your family has nothing to do with whether you made 2-2. What has 2-2 and 2-1 got to do with family now? Nothing now. Yeah, lots of people are here. There are Indians here. Let me not even talk of Indians here who are doing all sorts of funny programs, 1-year programs. They are here with their family. Okay, maybe that's India, Nigeria as well. So as long as you have a study visa and you have a family, you can move either with your family at the same time or when you're here. It's usually more advisable to move with them when you're here because, of course, moving with them at the same time, the cost and all that might be a lot, but it has nothing to do with 2-2 or 2-1. Undergrads who have families, well, undergrads are not supposed to have families, but the ones who are able to get admission and visa do move with their family. You have a family, hasn't got anything to do with that, okay? So while we're waiting, we have plenty of questions, so I don't know if I can give another person a chance. Let me give a lady this time. I don't know who is a lady now because all the names are just the same. Okay, so I'll just go to the questions. Mute, stop it, and just please do not ask questions that I've asked before. This person is asking, asking the same question. I've seen this question before, exact same question. Can a 2-2 mechanical engineering graduate apply? In fact, don't allow me to blacklist though. Does the JAPA system help with scholarship? The JAPA system has resources that shows you how is this person. I'm going to remove you. If you do this again, I'm going to boot you out. Okay, so the JAPA system has resources that can help you, show you how you can find scholarships and apply, okay? BSc degree with a study gap of 18 years, I think I've answered before. Yes, you can study with an 18-year gap, yeah? Because of course the world is changing and you want to up your career, why not? Can we combine 2 WAEC when applying for MSc? So you can combine 2 WAEC. Now the reason why You might show your WAEC when you're applying for MSc. It's not used to make a decision. It's just used to verify that you actually did that WAEC, okay? That it's genuine, because a lot of people, I was even surprised to see Oluwole WAEC. I didn't even know they do Oluwole WAEC. So they do Oluwole WAEC, and the schools here have started getting too many Oluwole WAECs from Nigeria. So that's why they are doing this, okay? You know how people spoil things. So the gap of 18 years shouldn't be a problem. You need to be able to explain very well why you're going to study after 18 years. Do you understand? Do you have a business that you're trying to grow? Are you trying to become a manager in your company? You have to have a good reason. So 18 years is not a problem. Do you help with study visa? So we have resources that can help you. So if you want a professional, an agency to help, yes, we do for a price. Yeah. I studied electrical. I've answered this. Can my elder sister's dad sponsor me? Your elder sister's dad is not your dad. Maybe your stepdad. If it's your stepfather, yes. No. So long as it's your stepdad, it's your family, he can sponsor you. If my company give me a proof, I don't know your company, as in the company you own or the company you work for. So if it's the company you work for, can they give you proof of funds as enough for it? I don't understand what you mean. If you have a master's in Nigeria, what transcript are you using for admission purpose? What are you applying for? It is what you're applying for that will determine. If you have a master's and you're applying for another master's, then you need your bachelor's transcript, okay? So we are recording. Do I need proof of ties for study visa? Yes, you need proof of everything. Ties or funds or everything for study visa. Maximum school you can apply for study in Canada. There's no maximum. If you are talking about maximum number of schools, there's no maximum number. I used an agent for my existing application. I've done biometrics since May. I did upfront medicals 2 weeks ago. Since May, June, July, August. Okay, that's still fine. I found out from the webinar now that if the school requires part payment before the beginning of session, you didn't pay to affect, sir. I better face the truth, because the agency advised me to hold payment until visa is approved. So look, if the school, do you understand? If on your letter they said you need to make this payment before this date, or this letter becomes invalid. If there's something like that in your letter and you did not make that payment and you use that letter to apply for visa, that's a problem. Because the visa officer will be looking for the deposit that you made to make sure that that visa letter, so they will just refuse it and say that no payment was made. That means that this letter is not valid. So if they didn't say that in the letter, you're fine. But if they did, then there's a problem. You can actually go and make the payment and send it to them by web form, okay? If they did, you can make the payment and send it to them. So GIC, yes, I mean, I have a couple of students who have done GIC. If you want to do GIC, I can show you how to do that. Yeah, I guess it does help, because GIC means that your money, you're sending money to Canada. It's a student GIC. So you're sending, I don't know, maybe $20,000 and saying, this is for my study. And then they would use it to make your tuition payment. So yeah, GIC is good for proof of funds if it's something you want to do. Can someone get loan? Yes, not from Japa System, from loan organizations. I've answered that. I'm 40 years old, ND in accounting. Hope the education gap won't be looked into. I don't know what you mean, but you can actually study at 40 years old. So there's no school that I'm going to recommend. What's the duration for BSc nursing in Canada? So every BSc program is like 3 to 4 years, just like it is in Nigeria. So Canada, so NECO, so there's NECO, there's WAEC. All schools accept WAEC. Some schools accept NECO, yeah? So they would put it there, WAEC or NECO. I don't really even know what the difference between NECO and WAEC is, to be frank. I don't know what the difference, but yes, not all schools will take NECO. Oh God, who is asking this question? I'm not answering. If you went to an institute of training like fashion school, can you still study there? So to study in Canada, a fashion school is a vocational school, yeah? To study in Canada, you need an academic degree. So you have to have gone to a proper school, so to say, not a vocational school. So you need something like an OND, HND, WAEC, or something like that. HND in 2009, yes, you can apply for graduate certificates. Can a postgraduate diploma go for masters? I mean, so I've already answered this question. Like, usually no, yeah, but there are some business programs that might take that. There are very few business programs that would take, those are not cheap programs, by the way. So they'll take a 2-2 combined with a PGD, but not for a normal master's, yeah. Diploma have scholarship. Yes, they have scholarships. We have a video for that in the JAPA system. So with a good grade in MSc, would someone with a 2 to be considered for a PhD? Yes, actually. So if you have a good grade in your MSc and have a 2 in bachelor's, you can be considered for a PhD because they will be more interested in that MSc. If you have papers in hand, that will help you. So you have other things that can boost your status in the eye of the school and in the professor. Yes, you can. Someone with GPA PGD 2-2, that's what I just answered now. Scholarship merit example, scholarship on admission. Yes, there are scholarship, entrance scholarships. Can someone be fully directed by an agent from you? I don't know what you mean. If I get a study loan, do I request that the loan payment be spread over a period of time? So if you have a study loan from a study organization, an international organization, they are not going to put the money in your account. They are going to pay the money to the school, okay? They are going to pay for your tuition. And if there's like extra, that's for living expenses, that's what they'll pay to you. And they will spread it over time, okay? They're not giving you the whole 50,000 or whatever at once. Can I unmute to ask a question? Ask your question here, sir. Galaxy A10. You would have just written your question instead of asking, can I unmute? You can't unmute except I tell you to unmute now. As a lawyer, how can I study their own law? So as a lawyer, so things like law, like medicine, like nursing, you have to actually be certified in Canada to practice nursing or medicine or law. So you have to come here to probably do a degree, like a postgraduate degree in law, a master's, and then you have to actually take their certification exams. Because the law is different here than in your country, okay? So those are like certified programs. You have to actually get certified to study, to practice as a lawyer. Can my sister be loaded with a visitor visa so as to bring my children to Canada during my study in Canada once I feel? I don't understand. Change her visitor visa. So you cannot change a visitor visa into a study visa. Usually, yeah, let me just put it generally like that. I don't want to go into the nuances, but generally you can't, okay? And I don't understand the rest of the question. If you're applying for your children, why not just apply for them as your dependent rather than your sister coming with them? Do you understand? I don't understand. Someone with no traveling experience, of course, if you don't have any travel experience, you can still apply for your studies. Yeah, just because you've not traveled before is not a basis for refusal, okay? You can boldly beat your chest and take those people to court if they do that. My sister's study visa was rejected recently. Reason was that she had no convincing family tie. It really discouraged me to go through this part. So SOP, yeah, we can review your SOP. You can also pay for an SOP service. She has no convincing family ties. I'm wondering how she did her SOP. If she had family in Nigeria, whatever country, why would they say she has no convincing family tie? You understand? So I don't know how she wrote the SOP, but it will be wrong for a visa officer to say she has no family if she actually indicated that she has family and put proof that she has family in her country. Can you still assist with PR? So PR is after your study now, yeah? So yes, we have resources for that. So you can get the recording. CEO will make the recording available. I don't know what the current exchange rate is. Please just ask your bank or go to Google and ask. Can a person who graduated lower credit in HND go for masters? No, you will go for a graduate certificate. That's like a stretch. I follow from Facebook. How can I get the jackpot package? So if you followed from Facebook, I don't understand. So how did you land here? How did you get the link? Who sent the link to you? Just go back to them and say, you know what, I want to get the jackpot package. How can I? They would help you. So whoever invited you to the webinar is an affiliate authorized to market the jackpot system. They will send you the link and then you can actually purchase. Okay. I have a HND 18 years ago. I didn't study since then. I've been doing business. Do I have a chance? Yes, you do have a chance. If you've been doing business, then you come and study business management, marketing management. You want to learn how to take your business global. So yes, you do have a chance. Can someone with diploma in medical lab tech apply for degree? What kind of diploma? I don't know. Maybe, yeah. That question is incomplete. I'm a midwife. Can I apply for degree in midwifery? I don't know. Yeah, a midwife. How are you a midwife? Did you study to be a midwife? Are you licensed? So those are all the things. Can one get study loan? Yes, you can if you meet the requirements. We should not use the NSC option for visa. So you can use the NSC. So when you apply for visa, you just apply normally. There's no NSC and SDS, do you understand? But when you apply, if they see, a visa officer can come back to you and say, if you want to do the NSC, then send us your IELTS and blah, blah, blah. Do you understand? So you apply normally and then they upgrade you if you meet the requirements, okay? I have 4.2 or 4.0 in my BSc. I used to WAEC in Nigeria. Can I use to WAEC when applying for MSc? Yes, I already answered that question. How can I get a job without going through the study route? You would have to go and get our Express Entry Masterclass for that question. Can someone with an immigration ban 5 years from the United States which is already over, apply for this JAPA visa? So if you had a ban in the United States and the ban is over, yes, you can apply to Canada, but you have to be truthful in your form and say, yes, I had a 5-year ban in the US, because if you don't say, they will still know. So just write it there for them. If I apply now and get the admission, am I going to apply for the embassy for my visa? So you need to wait for your bank statement to be up to 6 months before you apply. If it is more than 4 months, if your bank statement is between 4 to 6 months, yes, you can apply for visa. Someone work and the same time study, yes. So even if you're in high school, okay, so whether you are doing a bachelor's, most students that I know, except the ones that are from very rich homes, even the rich ones, they work and they study. So yes, as a student, you can work 20 hours a week outside of campus. You can work unlimited hours on campus. Okay, so if you have a job on campus, campus library, campus whatever, there's no limits. If you are a graduate teaching assistant, there's no limit to the amount of hours that you can work. Okay. Is it compulsory for proof of funds to be in the account permanently? So proof of funds has to be there 4 to 6 months before you apply for your visa. After you get your visa, of course, you can use your money now. Nobody's going to come and check your account again. So after you get your visa, you can actually use your funds for whatever it is you want to use it for. How can I know the schools that have high acceptance rates? Just go to Google and type schools in Canada with high acceptance rates to give you the results. So yes, we're recording it. Do you necessarily need to apply for scholarships before getting it? No, not all scholarships. You don't need to apply for all scholarships. That is why, like I said before, schools are different. Each school says what it does. They say it on their school website. Okay. I already have a master's. I want to apply for another. Should I declare the master's I already have? Please declare the master's you have. I had a master's and I applied for another master's and I declared it. I declared it to my supervisor. I declared it in my visa. So, and it did not affect me. Okay, so please, you can declare it. I graduated since 2011. I served, I studied agri. Can I apply for agri-related course? Yes, you can apply for an agri-related course. I don't know what you've been doing since 2011. That's like 10 years ago or so. But like, I don't know what you've been doing in between, but yes, you can apply for agriculture. I would love to study undergrad in a cheaper university. I don't know what cheaper is. How can I get a loan for 2 years without the request of bank statements? Okay, so you already wrote Empower there, so you can just apply for a loan after you get your letter of admission. After purchasing the JAPA system, if you go back and look at the recording, you can see what we do, what the JAPA system does. So I'm not going to go over that. Yes, you can get partial scholarship if you qualify. And in terms of paying for your tuition by working, I cannot give that. I cannot give that. I cannot say for sure because I don't know what job you'll be doing and I don't know how much you will get paid. So I can't, it might be difficult to be schooling and then be working and say you want to use this work to pay for tuition and then also to pay for living expenses. You can work for living expenses, you can work for rent, for food, you can work for part of your tuition, but I don't know if you can work for all of your tuition. You can apply for scholarship. Can I apply for some, well, anyway. Professional service and visa process for visa. Is there a discount? So we're not talking about, there's no discount for anything today. Is it immediately you apply for visa that you submit your account? Yes, so you submit your statement of account when you apply for visa. The Canadian universities accept nursing for an undergraduate admission. Okay, so I don't understand what that means, sorry. Is diploma same as graduate certificate because you said something about 2-2, not really having a chance in masters because most universities do 2-1. So you're advising 2-2 to go for a graduate certificate, not a diploma. So there are diplomas which are like ND, diplomas are undergraduate diplomas. You must see the word graduate in the certificate. There must be that word graduate, and the requirement is usually a degree or a diploma. Okay, if the requirement is grade 12, then that is not for you. If you already have a HND, the requirement must be a degree and it's a graduate certificate, not an ordinary diploma. Okay. So how is it possible to change my course of study while applying for master? I don't know what you mean. So does it mean that after getting my admission, I'm yet to arrange my proof of funds? Can I wait till the money stay in my account up to 46 months if I apply for my visa? Yes, you can, but I see no reason why you're not doing that now before you apply for admission. It's a long-term plan, so you shouldn't wait. You get admission, then you start arranging proof of fund. Like I said, be strategic. Start everything at the same time. Your proof of fund is there building while you're applying for admission. I got a diploma admission. Yes, your spouse and children can join you, even if it's a diploma. You can get a visa with 15 years gap. Postgraduate diploma is the same as a graduate certificate. So they are the same thing, it's just nomenclature. They are the same thing. When can I apply for May admission 2023? You should have been applying now. May has been on since some schools will almost close May soon. Can one with 2-2, I've talked about 2-2 and 2-1 and MSc. I will look at your SOP if you want me to, after you purchase the JAPA system. So can someone, this is a great question, can someone come to Canada with study visa and choose to forget about study and look for a job? You are looking for trouble. This is Canada. If you come here to study, you have to study. If you say, I want to forget about studying and then go and work, the school will actually have to send your name to IRCC to say this person has not registered for studies and they are not studying and you're already blacklisted. Do you understand? You cannot apply for anything. Do you understand? And after a while, your SIN will expire and then nobody will employ you because you will not have a SIN. Don't do it. Do you understand? Actually study so that you are here legally. You don't want to stain your immigration record for any reason. I'm so scared of that. So I'm wondering how some people are able to do it. So can I apply for study loan before getting admission? No, you can only apply for study loan after getting admission. January is still on, but not advisable because of visa processing time. I'm from Kenya. How can I come to Canada to do my blah, 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 blah? The same way. So whether you're from Kenya, you can come the same way. Okay? Can a cleaning job count as experience for what now? This is study. Can I apply for master's using BSc or HND? You can apply for master's using BSc. I am 16 years old. Can I apply for undergrad without IELTS? So if you're 16, you can apply for undergrad, but if you're 16, you're too young. So that means you will need a guardian who is a Canadian citizen or a permanent resident. You are 16, you are young. Usually you have to be 17 in Canada, but I guess at 16, if you have a guardian, you can apply. Can you drop the slide here? What slide? I can't drop any slide now, we're still on it. Can my spouse work as my dependent? Your spouse can work as your dependent. Security job, I don't know. My school has been open as of 6th of September and I've been refused with my visa twice. Can you help me to reapply to go by, please? So get the JAPA assistant to show you what to do. You need to get your GCMS notes before you start applying again. HND holder apply, study. When does your study permit end? So they give you a couple of months after the end of your study. So your study permit lasts as long as you need it. So until you write your final exam and you get your the school says that you have graduated or you have met the requirements for that degree, your study permit is valid up until that. Okay, and I think you have 60 days after that to apply for post-graduation work permits. So it's all sorts of, there's all those nuances, but yes, until you finish studying. The cost of applying for permanent residence. I don't know, I can't remember. Give me 1 second. Why am I not? Oh, excuse me. I hope I'm still here. Okay, let me see. I think I've answered all these questions. If a parent's surname is different name from children's surname, if a parent's surname is different from their children's surname, does it affect in visa application? How can a parent's surname be different from children's surname? Anyway, okay, on the child's birth certificate, this is not the parent's name that will be there. That's a legal question. I've answered all this question. The best provinces to apply for admission. So when you say affordable schools, I think I've answered that question. The Atlantic provinces, Saskatchewan and Manitoba. A family member can help with proof of funds. I have 3.77 in MSc analytical chemistry. Should I apply for another master's or PhD? Depends on you. Apply for anyone that you qualify for. PhD is 4 years. Master's is probably 2 years. Depends on you. So I'm going to open it up again. I think that, let me just go up a bit. I have interest in working permit. So if you have interest in working permit, then you need to get a job. So Manitoba, May or April intake, I don't know the program you want to do, you need to check. You can work and study at the same time. I think I've answered of this. Tuition is spread over the term that you stay in the school. JAPA system is 40,000. You can apply to more than one school. So the difference between thesis and coursework, which is less stressful. I did a thesis and it was very stressful, but they were paying me money now, so they were paying for the stress. So coursework is easier, but thesis gets funding. Can one with 2-2 go for LLM? It is very hard because I've been trying to help someone with a 2-2 get an LLM recently. It's quite hard. You need a 2-1. What kind of job do you have that will count as experience? I don't know what you mean. So any job that you have while you were studying doesn't count as work experience for you when it comes to permanent residence, okay? Any job you get while studying does not count as work experience for permanent residence. Permanent residence is a whole other thing that we cannot talk about here. How do you pay application fee from Nigeria? You use a dollar card or you pay on Flywire if the school is using Flywire. JAPA system does not have expiry dates. I think I've gotten to that part where I've answered all the questions and I'm opening it up for more questions. And while it is open, I'm going to ask someone to ask a question if you raise your hand. So there's Memunat, Meimunat. Sorry if I'm not. Okay, 1 second. Meimunat, you can unmute yourself. If you have more questions, type your questions. Do not repeat questions that you've already asked before. Now, help me. Help us.
Yeah. Good evening. Hello. Good evening, ma.
Good evening.
Hello.
Good evening. We can hear you.
Okay. Please, what's the difference between the graduate certificate and advanced diploma?
It's just like the name says. So advanced diploma also, they can take people who have degrees and who have diplomas, but they usually take people with lower GPA. Do you understand? So maybe someone that has a third class has a greater chance with an advanced diploma, but has not as much chance with a graduate certificate, because those schools might want to take from 2.5 GPA upwards. So it is an advanced diploma, so it's a higher diploma. It's like a HND. It is not a graduate certificate, but it's like a higher diploma than an ordinary diploma. That's what an advanced diploma is.
Okay, so please, for a tutor now, a tutor has to go for the graduate certificate.
What is the GPA? What's the GPA of the tutor? What's the GPA? 2.5. 2.5. 2.5 can go for a graduate certificate, yes. They can get a graduate certificate. So rather than, so that's the first, you want to consider a graduate certificate first. If you can't get that, then you now go for an advanced diploma, but a graduate certificate is almost at the same level with a master's in Canada. When it comes to like looking for a job and stuff, you don't even have to go and do a master's again, except you have the money to spend and you just must have a master's. If not, you can use your graduate certificate to apply for permanent residence. It's the same number of points that you get with a master's. Okay?
Okay, ma.
All right, thank you so much. Okay, so we have some questions already. I don't know who raised their hand next though. Oh my God. So this is the last round of questions. After this one, I'm not going to take any more questions on the chat. So I'm giving you a chance to just ask all the questions. Adjuma Ibrahim, you can unmute yourself and ask. And after you, I'm going to go to the chat.
Okay. Good evening.
Good evening. Good evening.
Okay. I have my children are 3, 15, 12, 10. Will they be allowed to stay on their own without me in the house? Say maybe our timing.
Okay.
Say maybe their timing, closing hours is different from mine.
Okay, see, that's where it's complicated when you're coming with kids and you're coming to study. But of course, you could have been working. So if your child, if you have a 15-year-old, a 15-year-old is authorized by law to stay home with other kids. You might want to just go the extra mile of putting them through a CPR course. Do you understand? They learn how to do CPR and all that. So a 15-year-old is old enough to stay home with siblings. So that's fine. Because if not, it's your neighbors that will go and report.
Okay. My husband is not willing to leave immediately with us. He will stay back, but he will want to pop in once in a while, 3 months intervals to come in and go. Is that allowed?
Okay, now, for your husband to pop in every 3 months, I don't know how he wants to do it now. For him to be able to do that, he would still have to apply for the spousal open work permits. A lot of times, they might not, I don't know whether things are changing. If your husband applies for a visitor visa, they won't give him. A lot of times, he has to apply for that spousal open work permit. And with that, he can be coming and going, yes. He can be coming and going with that spousal open work permit.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much.
No problem. Okay, so we're going back to the chats. I think we have enough time. And I'm seeing the same questions that we've asked before now, answered before. So if I've answered the question before, I'm going to jump. I don't know if everybody can see the chats. Or is it me you're seeing, Seth? Okay. Can I apply for scholarship with high school? Something. Now, where am I? I need to go down there. Can I apply for scholarship with high school certificate? Yes. I have bought the JAPA system since last month because I was prepared for IELTS. I couldn't check my challenge now. I find it cumbersome, rather confusing. How can you help me? Meanwhile, my IELTS were not too good. I have masters. I'm thinking, I think you should just send me a message. We're talking about people who don't have the JAPA system here. If you have the JAPA system and you're finding cumbersome, you have my contact details. Please send me a WhatsApp message or an email. Can I go for PhD if I complete after my graduate program? If you qualify and meet the requirements. Now, when you say graduate program, I don't know. Is it master's? If you want to continue studying after finishing one program, you just extend your study permit. You can continue studying for as long as you want. But don't forget, the maximum that you can get for a post-graduation work permit is 3 years. So can an undergraduate get a loan throughout the period of study? So if you get a loan, you get an amount of money based on the length of your study. So that is the amount that will be spread over the number of years that you're studying. The system helps with admission. Who is asking this question now? Will the system help with admission? That's the main thing now. By my family friend. The Zoom meeting was sent, the Zoom notice was sent, but how can I be added directly to the WhatsApp group? What WhatsApp group? I don't know the WhatsApp group you're talking about. Can we adopt 2 proof of fund in case one's brother wanted to? So you can have 2 proof of funds. I don't know, 2 sponsors, is that what you mean? So you can have more than 1 account, as many accounts as possible, but don't have too many sponsors, okay? Just have like 2. If you have more than 2 sponsors, it now looks like a village gathering thing. It doesn't look good, okay? I'm not done with school here in Nigeria. I'm a year 2 student, but school is on strike. Can I apply for a fully funded scholarship? For what now? For year 2 or for year 1? Yeah, when you say that fully funded, if you use that word funded, it's for research. If you are talking about whether you can get a full scholarship, as an undergraduate, you will get scholarship, but it's not likely to pay for everything, okay? Law graduates. So, I mean, for me to recommending things like, what do you want? What can you study? I have to look at your CV and all that for me to recommend. Is there any free application school in Canada? You have to apply. Those people need to take their $100 from you. So you have to actually pay for application. You can relocate with your family. Can I apply for an ordinary professional diploma? I don't know what that is. I don't know what an ordinary professional diploma is. Can HND apply for graduate certificate? I just answered that question to Memunat when she was asking. How easy and how long will it take to bring your family after you landed in Canada? So, like I said before, you can invite your family as soon as you're ready. So if you come to Canada today, you get your study permit, you can send it to your family and they can start applying. So long as you can show that I have money to cover this for my children and my spouse. This is money I have. I can rent an apartment. We have monies that can feed them. We have family ties. We have home ties. You can apply anytime. There's no recommended time, but make sure that you have up to 6 months study left as at the time you're applying. You must have up to 6 months. So you can't have 3 months of your study remaining and they're applying for them. That means you have to wait until you get your work permits before you apply for them, okay? I just hope that wasn't confusing. Okay, so you need to have 6 months study left, or if you have less than that, you wait until you get your work permits, which is even easier because that time you have job. Do you understand? You might not need to prove funds too much because you already have a job. That is an expo I just gave you. Okay, so can one apply for masters with a CGPA of 3.2? If that CGPA is up to the CGPA that the program is asking for, you can apply. But I think a 3.2 is a 2.2. So it will be hard. I applied for a postgraduate diploma. I was offered a diploma admission instead because the college said they don't accept HND for postgraduate. Why would they give you a diploma? Why would you take that? Didn't they ask you? I don't know. Which school is that? They gave you you can't do a diploma now. Tell them you can't do it too. Is it compulsory and related to someone who wants to pay for my tuition fee? It is not compulsory, but it has to be convincing. Majorly one have to use from A. Yes, you can get someone in Canada to pay your tuition fee. Anybody, you can get a friend to pay tuition fee. That doesn't matter. That doesn't, anybody can pay for you. That they're just helping you to pay, but they are not saying that they are your sponsor. That's a different thing. You need to have your proof of funds for 4 to 6 months in your account statement before you can apply for admission. That means that if you have your, if you just got your letter of admission now, yeah, and you want to apply, that means your proof of funds should have been in your account 4 months prior, yeah, 4 to 6 months prior before you apply for study visa. Okay. Visa application currently is taking 18 weeks for applicants from Nigeria. It varies, changes every week, okay? PGD from college, is it recognizable in Canada or just the ones from the university? I don't understand what you mean. How can I go about it? Try to apply. For now, I don't know if there's any school that is selling admission forms. Yes, there are schools that have admissions open. They don't sell it, you just apply. I cannot share a link to apply for scholarship. You need to buy the JAPA system now to get that. Buy the JAPA system. Can loan institution pay for deposits? No. So the loan institution, you would still need to pay your deposit, maybe borrow money and pay for the deposit. And then you, after you get your visa, they would give you your money and then you can pay the person back, I guess. Instrumental payments are allowed for tuition. It's actually installment. All tuition is installmental payment, rather. You pay every term, okay? What must I do? You have ND and you like to study electrical engineering. What must you do? You must apply for electrical engineering. So if you have ND, I don't know what your ND is in, but you can apply for an advanced diploma. Is there scholarship for graduate diploma concerning proof of fund for May admission? When is it compulsory to have money in? I just answered that 4 to 6 months prior. Can I come with my brother's child and say he's mine? You mean can you lie? Is that what you're asking? You should not lie. I'm telling you, anything immigration, please, right? Don't tell any lie. Why do you want to come with your brother's child? You want to kidnap the child? They will say you're kidnapping. So you cannot come with a child that is not yours, except you have adopted the child and you have papers to show that this child is not mine because I adopted. You cannot come with your brother's child. I'm sorry. If I filed for my sister as a dependent during my study, so you cannot file for your sister. You can, your only dependents are your children and your husband or wife, not your sister. I'm interested in MSc Sustainability at Brock. Oh my goodness, that is my school and my program. Thank you. How much will it cost for tuition and living expenses? So MSc Sustainability at Brock, you get funding. So you don't need to pay tuition. You get funding. Living expenses is $10,000 for a year. And I think that they would open applications in October. That's next month. What rate do we adopt for funding? So everything that has to do with admission, visa funding, all of that, it's official rates, not black markets, okay? You only do black market when you're asking a friend to help you pay fees or something. Everything is official rates. Can I use my account as self-sponsored? I think I've answered that question before. Yes, you can sponsor yourself. Why not? I sponsored myself. Can NNC holder apply at the age of 43 years old? Apply for what? NSC, what are you doing? Like, do you work? Do you have a business? If you do, yes, you can. So you cannot come to Canada and work before you start studying, okay? I'm in a situation where I'm for September admission. Can I move to Canada by January? If you come in January, the immigration officer will ask you, when is your studying? September. Then what are you doing here now? What are you going to tell them? They will say, okay, please sit down there, sir. And in the next flight, they will send you back. So you cannot even work. You don't have a SIN number. Nobody is going to give you a job without a SIN number, except it's always under the table job, and you don't want to do that, okay? So you must start studying before you work. I've answered third class people now. Third class people, I've answered you. Go and look at the recording. I've answered about sisters. So apart from BC and Ontario, the other provinces that are affordable, in quotes, are the Atlantic provinces, then there's Saskatchewan, and there's Manitoba. All other provinces apart from Ontario and BC, which are like the preferred provinces, the ones with the highest living expense, every other provinces I hear it's cheaper. I've not lived in those other provinces. I've only lived in Ontario, so I can't even compare, but I hear that it's cheaper in those places, like living expenses, to get a house and all that, food and all that cheaper there. So the company I'm working for is giving a proof of funds. Can I also stand as a strong ties to my country? So, so ties to country is different from proof of funds. So ties to country are things like you have a business, you have family, you belong to certain organizations. So that's what ties is. So proof of funds, if that company is giving you proof of funds, okay, fine. If they can say why, because you're a star employee. So we have just 4 minutes more because I'm going to end this at 4 or at 9 9 in Nigeria. I have a very important question. Oh yeah, ask it now. Psalm 112. You are not asking it. For doctors who want to do masters in public health, how do they go about it since CGPA isn't used? So the public health, they have their own requirements. Yeah. So if CGPA isn't used, there's still percentages. Even though you don't have CGPA as a doctor, there's still a way to. There's still a way to. Oh, I'm so sorry. There's still a way to grade, like to assess you for public health or whatever. My money was too much. I was trying to apply for a school in Canada. The money was too much. My power was just 3 million. So yes, you can look for another school that has a lesser tuition fee. I have 3 kids. Can this work? I don't see what having 3 kids has to do with it's not working. I have a diploma in nursing here in Nigeria. I'm a registered nurse. Can I do masters? No. I'm so sorry for laughing. You have a diploma. How can you now come and do masters? You can't do masters. Can I use JAMB plus watch or end the upper or end the lower for the same? I don't know what that means. For acceptance Apple. Can one take a second PhD in Canada? Yes, actually you can. I have a couple of people who have PhD who I worked with, and they did come here and they are doing a second PhD. So yes, it is possible. I don't have anyone to write a referral letter. What do? You have to get someone. Are you saying in this whole wide world, you don't have anyone to write a referral letter? That's actually worrisome. Nobody can vouch for you. That's not good. It's possible to change from your school to another school. So if you are in Canada, you can change your school and you can update your IRCC portal to tell them that you have changed schools. So you can change schools here. Can you get visa after securing employment from Nigeria? What does this mean now? How? I have a daughter of 16 years with WAEC result. Can she apply for admission in Canada? Yes, I've answered that 16-year-old question before. You can get admission with a 2-2, definitely. You can get a graduate certificate. Does your Canadian work experience have to be related to Canadian education? So in most provinces, no. And for federal PRO, no. But there are some provinces like Saskatchewan, they want your work experience to match with what you studied. So that's the only province I know that does that. The rest, you can do any job, so long as it's a skilled job, okay? It doesn't matter. Travel experience matter. I've answered this one. Okay, I think I've answered everything. And this is 4 o'clock here. That means it's 9 o'clock in Nigeria. I think we've come to the end of today's webinar. I have answered most of the questions as much as I can. It was supposed to be 7 to 9, and this is 9 o'clock. And I want to thank everyone who was able to join today. And to let you know that it is possible, like I said before, something looks impossible until you start taking steps, okay? When you start taking steps, baby steps, and then you start taking adult steps towards achieving your dreams, you can come to Canada. I have a story to tell. A lot of people have a story. I was talking with a friend of mine. Yes, they were just gisting, and we're laughing at ourselves because we know what we went through. I and her were trying to come to Canada. She came right after me. How we used to cry and say, actually, this Canada, we must go, Amo. You know, I mean, it was a process. There was a plan, you understand? We failed and we brought ourselves up and tried again. And we're both here. I have a lot of friends who are here. A lot of people have been able to help friends come here, you know, and then a lot of them are also processing for their children who are back home. Some of them already have their children here. So this thing is possible. Okay, there are some people who have gone to the UK first and were able to come here from the UK. So wherever you are going to, you are able to go to, whatever you're able to start doing something. The most important thing is that don't just sit down there and be complaining. If you really want to relocate, start making the effort. So if you want to get the JAPA system, go back to the affiliates that sent you the link. If I am the one, come back to me and ask me for the link, but go back to whoever invited you. They are authorized to market the JAPA system. Whatever they send to you, they are not scammers. they are legal. They are going to pay on Seller or on Expertnaire or Paystack, and I'm going to see you inside the JAPA system. I am there. You get my contact and you contact me. Okay. So thank you, everyone. Have a lovely night. I'm going to have a lovely evening too. I'm going to the mall because it's just 4, and I'm going to unmute everyone so that we can just say our goodbyes, and I'll see you in the next webinar. I think what I'm going to do is that I'm going to maybe have a kind of place where we can drop our questions. So by the time we come to the webinar, we already have the questions and I'll just be answering them. Okay, that might work. Okay, so thank you very much. And enjoy the rest of your evening. So I actually unmuted everyone. We can say goodbyes, and I wish you all the best. And I hope to see you in Canada.
Bye. See you soon.
Bye-bye.
Where do we get the recording, please? Where do we get the recording?
Okay, so I'm going to record it and send it to all of the affiliates. And I just asked the person who sent you here for the link.
I'm on my way to meet you right now.
I think they are going to put it in their groups, their WhatsApp groups. Thank you very much, everybody. I hope to see you in Canada.
Is the next webinar?
Who have your LinkedIn profile?
The next webinar will be next month. Yeah, because this month is already 17.
Every month.
Yes, we do it every month. I'm not going to give any profile here. I'm sure if you go to LinkedIn and put in my name, you'll find my LinkedIn profile. It's easy to find someone online. So we'll do an express entry webinar for those who are interested in express entry, probably this month. Okay, thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much. We really appreciate it.
What about what? I can see one husband and wife lying down together here.
I see one husband and wife. I see one husband and wife.
They have put up their camera. That's nice. I mean, I applaud you.
Very wonderful evening. Bye.
Bye.
See you in Canada.
It's really good.
Definitely see you here. I'm hoping to see you here. Really, I'm really eager for people to come. I'm looking for friends.
Well, the youth.
Definitely. I'm in Ontario. So if you're coming to Ontario,
I'm hoping to meet you at
Ontario.
Yes, I live in Ontario. I hear it's the best province, but I don't know.
Expensive there now.
Yeah, but this is where I landed. I didn't have any choice. Anywhere I was going to go, so I just came here. I didn't know anything, whether Ontario, anyone. So, but I just happened to come to Ontario. That's where I got admission.
Bye.
Yeah. Okay, bye everyone. Enjoy your evening. Make sure you have dinner. Drink water.
Good drive.
Thank you so much. It was a lot.
Thank you, everyone. I just hope you got value. That's just the most important thing.
Yeah.
We did. We got a lot of.
Amazing. Please try and get the JAPA system. The price will increase soon, and then some people will be asking for discount. I will increase it though, and I like giving warning because I don't want people to feel bad. So I am softly telling you that it will increase. It will increase a little. I don't have it. I did a it's 40,000 naira only. I did a birthday promotion, and I also did a promotion when I forgot.
If I get the JAPA system this month, I'll be able to apply for.
How long does it take you from Canada to the US?
It's a 7-hour drive or a 5-hour, depending on where you're going in the US. If you're going to New York, you can drive there in 5 hours. from here, from Ontario, from Hill. I don't know about other provinces because we share the border with New York. So it's just like 5 to 7 hours ride. 40,000 naira, 40,000.
If I get it this month, I'll be able to apply in Broke University the next month.
Yes, you can. Yeah, you can. So admissions for the fall will open in October. Admissions for May is already open. Admissions for January is open, but I don't advise you to go for January. It's too close. You might not be able to get visa. So May and September.
I think some of us are just controlling the policy.
Please, when there is.
Say that again.
I said the one has to have for about 4 months before you start using it.
This is meeting after webinar.
Applying for admission, as you said.
So when you apply for admission, usually depending on the admission, usually like from 6 weeks. Before then, you can start putting your proof of funds together. Personally, I started working on my proof of funds at the same time that I was doing admission. So I made sure I spoke to my sister, the one that I want to give me money. I borrowed all the money I wanted to borrow, put it in a fixed deposit. Personally, that's what I did because I was saying if I don't get funding, I must have money. So my sister gave me her money. My sister's husband gave me money, and I put it in a fixed deposit in my name. You understand?
If I'm in New York,
just go to the recording, the last slide. I talked about the amount of money that you
Canadian dollar or US dollar.
If you're in Canada, can you work in the US?
Yes, you can. But then you need a work permit to do that. If you're a citizen, you can just people from the US cross the border and work here, vice versa.
It's when there is a permanent resident.
Very nice.
We want to see those.
Can you say that again?
Waiving. When there is a waiver in school, give it to the Japan system subscribers.
When there's a waiver in the school, like when there's information, so if I get like I do that,
waiver.
if I know about application fees,
waiver to some schools, give it to the Japan system students.
So most schools will ask for. There's only like 1 or 2 schools I know. I'm not going to mention them here that don't take application fee, but they are very competitive because they don't take about most schools. Almost all schools take application fee, just like $100. Just like $100. So I mean,
Do you write SOP for people?
Yes, for a price. We actually can do your SOP for free and tell you what to do, like point out things that you need to look at. But yes, we do write SOP for it. SOP writing is an art. It's an art. Yeah.
Can I ask a question, please? So this academic writing they talk about, what can you
Say that again.
Did you
You know we are finished the webinar. I'm just waiting for people to say goodbye. What did you say?
It's interesting. We don't wish to say bye.
Somebody was asking about
academic writing. We used to say someone should submit
academic visa, academic CV.
Yeah, academic writing, like they'll say submit a sample of your writing.
Okay, you can just submit your they asked me for that. You can just submit your project. You know this final project that you do in school. That project, you know that project. That is just that's a sample, that's a writing sample. Just give them that. Do you have that?
No, what if maybe you misplaced something? Can you write?
Can you misplace? You have misplaced your project. That thing that you carry till you die. My BSc project, I still have it. I can. So anyway, the people are different. So yeah, so if you misplace that, you need to write an academic, maybe like a paper. Not like social media writing. It has to be like an academic paper. You can write that and give it to them.
Okay, but if someone pays for Java system, can you like the person what to write?
No, is it possible for you to go to your school and didn't you submit one in your school? They can give you now.
So, okay, you're saying that we can actually use our final year project as academic.
Yes,
right?
that is your writing sample. Yes, that's the best thing to use.
It's written in paper. How will you transfer?
You need to pay all the
You will scan it.
You say?
You will scan it.
Programs, you need to pay all the school fees at once.
No, I answered that question. No, you can't pay school fees at once. Even if you are in Canada, you can't pay school fees at once. When the term starts, they ask for school fees. When the next term starts, they ask for that term. So you pay school fees every term. Okay, so I think I have to go now. So that I can have lunch.
Thank you. God bless you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Okay, so, all right, guys.
I hope to see you in Ontario soon.
Please hurry up and come now. Hurry up.
Oh God,
So
I can't
when
go
I cook
to
jollof rice, I'm looking for who's
Oh my God, Nigerian jollof rice.
So I have to eat Nigerian jollof rice. In fact, I can see the jollof rice there waiting for me. So that's right.
Honestly, the local
I'm in a hurry to go and eat it. Okay, guys. Thank you so much for such a nice time. Enjoy the rest of your evening now. All right. Now. Bye.
Bye.
Bye now.
Bye.